Hello, everyone, and welcome to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Wednesday, January 3rd, 2018. I am Michael Schwahn.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
Please remember, everybody, that you can help support our show by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet. In addition, we do go live Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Alaska time. And if you have stories you would like us to talk about, please send them to our subreddit, which is our iRedditcast, or send it to us in an email, which is feedback.ireddit@gmail.com. Nathan?
Or you can even, call us.
Sure. I guess that one's a little bit harder because it's normally better to provide a link.
Yeah, but
it's
you
there.
could.
508-738-2278.
Yeah.
Nathan, how are you today?
I'm all right. I'm still riding on the wave of everyone's giving me attention, and I'm just kind of like, that's cool. Yeah, that's attention.
So
I kind of want to just get on with my day now.
So introverted. Don't compliment me, because then I have to interact with you, and I'd really prefer not to.
Yo, if you just smiled, nod your head, and went nice, that's perfect.
Nice.
Once, just nice, thank you. That's all I need. I don't need you sitting there telling me jokes about, oh, I thought there was a new employee.
Don't you love that, though, Nathan?
I've heard that one. It's oh, God, it's the worst kind of... It's not even a dad joke. It's, worse.
It's worse than a dad joke?
Yeah. I don't know.
What does that make it, a grandpa joke?
No, grandpa jokes are the fucking jam. I miss my grandpa. He was fucking amazing when it came to grandpa jokes.
So, brother jokes?
He once had me spend 15 minutes scrubbing my face because he kept telling me I had something on my face after I finished eating. And then after the 15 minutes, I was upset. I'm like, you do it, Grandpa. And he's like, I don't know if I can get your face off that way.
Wow.
I miss my grandpa. He's great.
I do not really know either of my grandpas.
My other grandpa, and I shit you not, he's been pulled over while riding his motorcycle. Looks like Paul Sr. from American Choppers. Almost 100%.
I don't know who that is, but sure.
It was a TV show,
That's cool.
They built choppers.
I continued to run around like a chicken with my head cut off today. That was also on fire.
Oh, fun!
Yeah. It's great.
Oh, God!
Yeah, nothing is getting done. We don't have enough people. We need more people so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks real hard, especially because right now the phones are really busy, and there's a lot of people that are quite upset because we are also no longer able to accept credit cards where I work, which means we got a lot of people that have to pay for their registration either in person with cash or by check, and they're not allowed to do their job until they've paid that. You want to know how unhappy they are?
Immensely.
Immensely. You want to know what makes...
You know how surprised I am about people having checks?
Very?
Everyone still has checks. I thought checks were dead.
Well, it depends on where you are. And that's because, places like our office, you better have a check because otherwise you're screwed. And even further beyond that, though, they're also upset because we have two offices, one in Anchorage and one in Juneau. However, the state building in Juneau, over the New Year's weekend, had pipes burst. So guess what office is closed?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah! This is great! It's so great!
Yo, I've been busy, too, all right?
Have you?
I've been busy checking this damn Twitter blowing the fuck up.
I don't know what you did, but good job. Keep doing it.
I just kept following bots. Whoever followed me, I followed them back. I followed, upwards to 100, Arabic Twitter accounts today.
Good work, buddy.
And I don't know what any of them say, but you know what? They followed me, and I was like, you know what? Fuck, I'll follow you back.
And Nathan's like, don't care, numbers getting bigger.
Yeah, that's bigger. Let's go.
Numbers said more.
Watch me make fun of your country.
Nathan, that was real bad.
I make fun of my country.
I know.
Countries are a joke.
But why did you have to say it in a Schwarzenegger accent?
I don't know. It was a bad one.
Well,
what are you doing? Get out of here. Stop it.
Most accents are quite bad, Nathan.
I cannot even scratch my nose. My muscles are so big.
Are they?
I wish.
Sounds awkward. Sounds painful.
Yeah, probably.
Well, shall we get into some news, sir?
Sure.
Maybe.
If it is new.
I mean, sure, I guess.
5.
It was in the last rough 24 hours. Residents of Bell End call for change to their embarrassing street name.
This is submitted by Purist Videos to R Not the Onion.
Real quick, do you know what Bell End means?
No.
Well, that is because that is British slang for the...
Is it for dickhead?
Yes.
Yeah!
But
Nice.
But quite literally.
Hilarious. It makes sense. Kind of looks like a bell.
Yep, and that's why it is that way. Although apparently they're not the only ones suffering. Here's some of the other rude places that exist in Britain. There's a place literally called Cox in Cornwall. Minge Lane.
Oh, no.
Ticklecock Bridge.
What?
A place literally called Twat.
Ticklecock Bridge.
Sandy Balls.
Sandy Balls.
Finn Gringe Ho. Back Passage.
Oh.
Shitterton. That is really unfortunate. Slag Lane. Hole of Horkham. I mean, maybe it's Horkham, but either way, that's not better.
No, Horkham is equally worse.
Fanny Hands Lane. Inch in? Is that what that's supposed to be? Anyway, whatever. Cockshoot Close. Fun Bag Drive. Fanny Avenue. Beaver Close. Dick Court. Felch Square. These are all actual places.
Yeah. Yeah, that's scary.
Crotch Crescent.
Why is England full of like fucked up names?
I don't know. Either way, the people that...
Do we have any fucked up names in Anchorage?
I have no idea. Maybe.
I feel like most of our places are like actual place names.
Well, the people that live on Bell End Lane would like to no longer live on that street. They are trying to get it changed. They've put forth a petition, and we'll see if that gets anywhere. But also they are saying that due to the street's unfortunate name, that their houses are losing value.
Butthole Road.
That is awesome. And terrible.
Cock and mouth close.
Who named these?
Fun Bag Drive.
Chadwick says, I don't know what you're complaining about. This is amazing. Do you want to go live on Fun Bag Drive, Chadwick?
Yo, what about Ladygate Lane?
Ladygate Lane.
Horny Old Road, Crotch Crescent.
Cumming Court.
Lickfold, West Sussex.
Spanker Lane.
Rimswell.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, these are not okay, but they're so okay.
Well, at least we started out with something happy. Shall we get into a whole bunch of not?
Oh, yeah.
4.
Russia says the United States can't criticize Iran because it crushed Occupy Wall Street and Ferguson.
This was submitted by Simone to our World News.
Simon Simone?
Simon Simone? Simone?
I don't know. You got me. So, what if you have not heard, there are a lot of protests that have broken out in Iran over really the last couple of days. It started out in one city and has now exceeded to grow over 40 cities across the entire country. There are hundreds of thousands. No, I don't think that's the right number. There are a lot of people that are out protesting across all of these cities. The 22 people have been reported dead. 450 have been reported as being arrested. And basically, Iran's in a really hard spot. And the reason for that is because of the entire thing that's happened in the Middle East over the last decade and a half. And they had really harsh sanctions that were put against them, which led to their currency being worth less, which meant that food was more expensive, which meant that people were having a hard time. Those sanctions were lifted in 2016, but in the, I'm just going to say, year since then, not much has changed in that. They've had a great level amount of inflation, and people are upset because the country isn't getting better, and there's very little they can do about it, and they believe that the government is corrupt and is preventing them from recovering, essentially. So, that's what's going on in Iran. Lots of craziness going on, but there's a lot of criticism going to Iran because the government has shut down access to Instagram and Telegram, which a lot of the protesters were using to organize and spread awareness of their protests.
I see.
And the United States is speaking about it, is the best way that I'm going to be able to present that, is they're speaking about what's going on. And Russia, who is a very...
The United States government, mind you.
Yes. The Russia, who is a very long and close ally of Iran, basically told United States to GTFO and back off, saying that we don't have any right to speak about anything happening in Iran because of the... I mean, we kind of ran over them with a bunch of tanks. And in addition to that, if we wanted to speak about how Iran is trying to stifle protest, well, we have done similar things in the past, such as like Occupy Wall Street, as well as the Ferguson riots, which were in Louisiana, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. In addition to other things like the fucking pipeline.
Yeah, that's a good example as well.
I don't know.
It's
I feel like I can understand where Russia's coming from at this point, or on this point specifically.
The other
but
issue,
at the same time, like, we should still be able to say what the fuck we want to say.
Right. Well, and I think it depends on how involved we get with things as well. I mean, because the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations put a call for all freedom-loving people to not be silent over this. So we're encouraging them to continue protesting. And that is the actual ambassador for the United Nations that has been the one that is out speaking about this. So it's more than just expressing the opinion of the government. It's actually putting out a call to action.
I mean, that's a very fair point. Like, a lot of our government right now is very avid against protesting.
Well, and I guess it depends on which direction you look on whether they're against protesting, because, like, I don't know who the U.S. ambassador is or how. Well, their name is Nikki Haley, but I don't know how long that they have been in their position.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff.
But I mean, if people can't afford food and are hungry, I am very understanding if they are upset.
Yeah, I can absolutely understand that too. I oftentimes will get very hangry. And I mean, I still even have a house over my head.
And you have access to food. Sometimes.
Yeah, I have mac and cheese waiting downstairs.
Oh yeah, are you ready for it?
Well, kind of. Like, it's also cheese,
which you're lactose intolerant, so.
Yeah, but you know what?
Have you tried making mac and cheese with goat cheese? Can you even do that?
Yes, and it is fucking amazing. However, goat cheese is inexorbitantly expensive.
I believe it.
I hate my allergies because they make it more expensive for me to live.
But that just means you die sooner, right? Which is ultimately a good thing?
Yeah, but I want to be hedonistic when I am alive.
Fair enough.
I want to be able to, do stuff because I want to. I may be nihilistic, but nihilism and hedonism go hand in hand, buddy.
Trump Tower meeting with Russians treasonous. Bannon says an explosive book.
This was submitted by Necrera to Art Politics.
Hashtag Trump Gret. Is that what's happening on Bannon's end right now?
Maybe he's trying to just attain some form of fucking money. Cover his ass, maybe. Maybe he's would be also in a lot of trouble through this FBI thing.
I don't know. I think a lot of it feels like Bannon was instead trying to do his own agenda through Trump, and when it stopped working, he just gave up and moved on.
I could absolutely believe that, too.
So Steve Bannon, the former chief strategist for Donald Trump, he, was one of his closest aides and advisors, and then some stuff happened, and then he decided he was no longer going to be there, and he moved away. I mean, especially over a bunch of stuff that happened with the National Security Council, and he was like, you know what?
He decided to go back to Breitbart.
I'm done. I'm gonna go back to my news crew and make a whole bunch of money through there. But the other thing that he decided to do was begin writing and publishing a book, and he has released it.
Is it his book? I thought it was an interview with him.
Well, yeah. I mean, is it his? I thought it was his book. Let me find out. It's just it doesn't actually say if it's his book or if he's just in the book. Let me see.
I want to say that he's just in the book.
He is just in the book. It is called Fire and Fury Inside the Trump White House, which has over 200 interviews in it, one of which is Steve Bannon. Now, he is not nice, saying things like they are going to crack Donald Jr. like an egg on national TV, which is an entertaining
Thought?
It's an interesting visual.
I would love to see that.
So one of the things that this article is mostly focusing on, and we've talked about it several times in the past, is the meeting with Russia that happened in the Trump Tower with Donald Trump Jr. Now, the things that he says is that, let me find the actual quotes here. He's talking about the meeting that involved Donald Trump's son, Donald Jr.'s son-in-law, who is Jared Kushner, and as well as the campaign chairman Paul Manafort and the Russian lawyer Natalia Veselnitskaya. Yep, that's as good as I got. Sorry. So, and we've talked a lot about the meeting, but the things that Bannon actually releases on here, or talks about, is that there are 3 senior guys in the campaign who thought it was a good idea to meet with a foreign government inside Trump Tower in the conference room on the 25th floor with no lawyers. They didn't have any lawyers. If you thought that this was not treasonous or unpatriotic or bad shit, and I happen to think all of that, you should have called the FBI immediately. Saying that, if you wanted to do things like that, you should have got your lawyers, you should have met in a more public place, that way that you have the protections in place, and as well as you can immediately go to the people that you need to go to when stuff like this happens, and they can back you up, such as Breitbart, because he's going to plug himself. The other thing that he was personally concerned about is that this meeting took place on the 25th floor, and he does not believe there is any chance that Don Jr. did not walk these people up to his father's office, which was just 1 floor above, literally 26th floor.
Yo, our politics right now. I went to our politics to try and find the thread, because there's this really long, not quote, this really long post talking about just all of the fucking money laundering that's going through Trump and Trump Enterprises and all of that shit. And I wanted to be able to post it into the chat in the least, because it also was incredibly backed up by a ton of different fucking sources.
Well,
but I'm reading through some of these things, like apparently Trump's campaign chair Manafort sues Mueller, Rosenstein, and the Department of Justice.
For what?
I don't know. I haven't clicked it open.
For getting in
I didn't
trouble,
want to,
I guess?
because
they caught you? I don't know.
Another thing is, former Trump advisor says he tried to teach President the Constitution, but his eyes just rolled back into his head.
That doesn't surprise me too much. I don't think Trump cares to learn much outside of what he knows. I mean, we've talked about it before, about how a good amount of the government is extremely old guys that are stuck in their ways and believe things should be a certain way. And it's very difficult to get anything new through to them, regardless of what that is.
I feel like we need a lot more younger people in,
Although Trump has already responded to the released interview from Bannon in this book and basically said that Bannon has lost his mind and that he is no longer a friend of the Trump family.
Yeah, I bet. I fucking absolutely bet, because, if he said these things, they're fucking rude.
Yeah,
but,
it's pretty harsh. Like they're
the fucking dude on blast.
They're very direct. There is no amount of what's the word I'm looking for? Like, he didn't beat around the bush at all. Like, just straight up right hooked into the face.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would say good on you, Bannon, but at the same time, like,
so many people flipping on Trump, it's starting to feel like the Nixon era.
Well, it's not just that. I was going to say good on you, Bannon, but Bannon, you're a terrible person too, so not good on you. Like, better on you for being a bad person that's revealing the truth about another bad person.
Yo, this just goes to show, right, that Steve Bannon isn't against treason, just poorly executed treason.
Isn't that a good majority of people across most governments?
Yes, and that's fucking gross.
It doesn't surprise me either.
Mm-hmm.
So, yay, Nathan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
2.
Attorney, family of swatting victim wants officer charged.
This was submitted by Soup Ninjas to our news. Is this the one about the guy that died in Kansas?
Yeah, it is. It is the guy that died in Wichita, Kansas. Because I don't remember what the argument was originally about anymore. It was over like a loot box or like a.
I know what it was about. They were arguing over a single loot box. It was like $3.50, or it was an item or something. It was an item or a loot box, and they were like, blah, 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 blah. Hey, I'm going to SWAT you. And he's like, yeah, go fucking do it. Here's my address. And he gave the guy a different address that wasn't his. So the guy called SWAT in on this fucking address that had been given, saying, hey, the man inside there killed the father of the family, is holding the family hostage. So when they knocked on the door and he opened the fucking door, they shot him.
Yep. Thank you for that. So now the family.
Also, the man who called in the swatting had been taking. If you look at his Twitter, he had been taking credit for so many other swatting things throughout the internet, bomb threats, including the one that had to postpone the FCC vote for net neutrality. Mm-hmm. He took credit for that. He took credit for a lot of other ones. He said he should have stuck to calling in bomb threats because it was easier and it was more thrilling.
Well, in this case, the attorney for the family of 28-year-old Andrew Finch, who was shot as part of that swatting, they are wanting not only charges to be brought against the dude who did the swatting, but also the SWAT officers as well.
Oh, absolutely. They very well should.
Why?
Well,
the officers didn't know that it was a joke.
I guess the SWAT officers are trained differently, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
So maybe not the SWAT officer, but like definitely the other guy, because that guy's a fucking.
Well, dick. Yeah, I mean, 100%.
And he said he's not going to turn himself in.
They'll find him.
Prison. I hope so. I absolutely do, because that guy's a fucking prick.
So, also, just a note to anyone listening, like, stop doing that.
Yo, swatting is the literal fucking worst thing you can do to someone when it comes to them trying to stream.
Yeah, like, don't do it. Like, what do you get out of it besides just being a terrible person? Like, there have been people that have lost, like, there was the dude we talked about, like, 6 months ago that almost died and lost vision in one eye because the police shot him with a bunch of rubber bullets from, like, 10 feet away because somebody swatted him. This guy is dead because somebody swatted him. Like,
there was a guy who was arrested on drug charges because he had marijuana in his house when someone swatted him in a state that was very anti-marijuana.
Can they do that?
Yeah, they can.
Well, I know that there are rules against police bringing things against you when they were there for a different reason.
I mean, if they were called to do SWAT stuff for drug reasons...
Maybe. I don't know enough about it, so...
Yeah, I don't know, I guess, enough about exactly why, but I do know that he was charged for drug-related stuff in the incident.
1.
Mine is bigger. Trump dares Kim Jong-un to compare nuclear buttons.
You fucking kidding me? This was submitted by MUCTLV to our World News.
So,
muctlv.
Go and give the other one as well.
Also, punts for life to our politics.
And we've talked about this before very often, and, you know, sometimes it is called in a question of, did he mean this or not? But I feel like Trump says one thing, sometimes means another that is very similar, or just doesn't understand how things can be in context. So the tweet itself is North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. This is Donald Trump's tweet. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un just stated that the nuclear button is on his desk at all times. Will someone from his depleted and food-starved regime please inform him that I too have a nuclear button, but it is much bigger and more powerful one than his, and my button works. While people are taking off on the entire joke of my button is bigger than yours, I understood this tweet as I have more bombs, I have bigger bombs, my bombs are better.
Right, but I feel like it's in a spot that wasn't necessary. Kim Jong-un was pretty much still backing down, though still keeping with it, you know, hey, if you attack us, we'll attack you, but he was still backing down. He wasn't actively saying, hey, you know what, I'm building these bombs specifically to bomb you, America, because you're pissing us off. He's saying, hey, I'm building these bombs for self-defense. Don't come at us, and I won't press the fucking button.
Oh no, I understand that. And Donald Trump's tweet entirely is inappropriate and is seen as overly aggressive and incites conflict that is unnecessary. But the thing that people are going with, the thing that people are talking about is the mine is bigger. And people have taken to the entire thing about how, on the internet and all over social media, drawing these comics about, like, literally a bigger button, comparing it to, phallic parts of the body, about I have a bigger one than you, when to me it is very clear that that is not what he meant. Now, I mean, sometimes we have made that defense and Trump went, nope, that's exactly what I meant. And we were like, oh, okay. But in this case, I definitely feel as though it's, I have more bombs. I have bigger bombs. My bombs are better. My bombs work.
I mean, I guess it comes down to, he's made innuendos in the past. Why not think that this isn't an innuendo, even though it seems like one?
I don't know. It's just how I'm taking it. I mean, people...
Yeah, I bet it is.
You terrible son of a bitch. The rest of the world already has, went off on its merry way by having its fun with this statement and this tweet. But the real problem with this tweet is how conflict-producing it is.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It does not help diffuse tension whatsoever.
Like, Kim Jong-un comes out and says, we would like to talk to South Korea about peace talks and, ending this 50-year feud that we've had and possibly participating in the Winter Olympics. We have completed our nuclear program. We have nuclear weapons. We will not use them unless we have to, is essentially all they said. And the United States went, we got better bombs, assholes. Yeah.
That's, yeah, You're actively trying to compare something that's obviously much, much bigger, the force of America, to something else. When someone's just trying to not compare it, they're trying to be like, yo, I have one. That's cool. Let's stop this.
It's really, really sad and painful when Kim Jong-un and the entire North Korean regime is the bigger person right now.
Which is, at least in talk, which is really weird.
It's not okay. It's not okay.
Whatsoever.
In any case, the United States also said to South Korea, like, you shouldn't talk to them, you shouldn't do peace talks because they are, they're aggressive, they're violent, they have spoken out against the United States, and South Korea basically said, that's great, we would like to be in peace, so we're going to talk to them. South Korea calls, apparently for quite some time, has attempted to call North Korea twice a day, every single day. Now, for quite some time, that phone call has went completely dropped. It never went anywhere. They have now had a single 20-minute phone call. The phone call is making sure the line was safe and secure. There has been no talks about participation in the Olympics or anything like that. So who knows where we're going to go from here.
I mean, hopefully allowing them in the Olympics without a nuclear war going on.
And
that way we can show them how much bigger we are at the Olympics.
I mean, we normally win a lot at the Olympics, so... Well,
except for those times that Russia's won a lot, but I guess those don't count anymore, huh?
No, they at least a good bit of them don't count anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't. Because they're dirty cheating.
Pain. Chadwick says, let's not forget that the defectors who fled his country are saying that Kim is lying. He murders and kills his countrymen on a whim, and now after a 20-minute phone call, he's the good guy. It is not that he is the good guy. He is being the bigger guy right now in terms of we want to talk in the United States and, like,
and remember, it's okay to kill your own people. We don't care if you kill your own people when you start killing our people.
You're also, it's also perfectly fine
or if you have oil.
Yeah, in which case we're going to come take it because we're assholes like that. Like, it's not that he is the good guy. It is that we are being punk assholes right now when even Trump himself has said that he had hoped that they could reach a diplomatic solution to this and instead is just continuing to swing his dick around. Like...
Yeah, if he really meant those words, he would have not tweeted what he had tweeted.
Like, and that's the thing, is like, if you want to reach a diplomatic, non-violent solution to the North Korean problem, this is not it. All you are doing is instigating.
Right. You can defend the guy. Don't defend this tweet, because this tweet does nothing to further any relations, which we're attempting to try and blossom in some fashion.
And the other problem is that they have shown that they have the ability to get rockets wherever they need to get the rockets. Regardless of whether you believe how expansive their nuclear program is, they have showcased their ability to use the potential to deliver warheads, which is something you have to respect, because regardless of what happens, if it ends up that it leads to a violent outcome, we will win and then we will lose. Like, North Korea will disappear. We will win that battle, that war, and then the world will lose.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that science has been done over and over and over again. Nuclear war, even if it's in a very condensed location, spells the end for everybody else.
Fucks up the planet.
Yeah, it ruins everything.
That's why there's only been three nuclear drops, right?
Well, there's been plenty of testing, but they're smaller, they're in contained areas, they're normally like underneath mountains in specially built facilities and stuff like that. So I mean, they have done what they can to test the capability without actually introducing the problems that exist.
Sure.
So, but that doesn't change the concern.
I don't know. I would say that the places where we dropped the bombs in World War II feel otherwise.
Oh, yeah, they do. And they're still experiencing the negative effects of those. I mean, and also, like, we can see a good portion of the negative effects in things like the, what was the name of the reactor that melted down
Fukushima.
in Russia? No, the reactor that melted down in Russia.
Oh, Chernobyl.
Chernobyl, that one, yeah. And we've seen lots of what happens with those.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, it's a good source of energy. Just don't fuck it up.
So, with that said, shall we move on to the rest?
Yeah.
Not excited to see where this goes. It just doesn't feel good right now.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks! Look at me!
Nathan, what'd you care about in the last 24 hours?
I began watching the new season of Black Mirror.
Have you watched any of the rest of Black Mirror?
Yeah, I've watched all of it.
Is it good? What is it? I have no idea. What is it about? What
Okay,
what
so
is Black Mirror?
each episode it's non-continuous, right?
Okay.
It's almost like a modern day Twilight Zone, but mixed with more technology. So, for instance, there's a guy in one of them who was beta testing a horror virtual reality game where he had something like implanted in the back of his neck, and he walks into this house, and a giant spider comes out of nowhere, and then the spider has his bully's face on it and everything. And then more crazy shit happens. I'm not going to say it, but like it gives you twists and turns and twists and turns, and every episode leaves you just unsettled. You're like, ugh, I don't know how to feel about that. That just feels gross. It's not a happy ending. Every single one is not a happy ending.
30-minute or hour-long episodes?
I want to say they're like 45 minutes.
Okay.
The important thing about it is the first episode is about the princess being captured in England, and the only way for her to be let loose is if the prime minister has sex with a pig.
Whoa. Oh, my.
On national television.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. So, was the new season good?
I haven't finished watching it. I began watching the first episode, and then I kind of fell asleep most of the way through. But it was really good to start off with. It was based on essentially another video game. It wasn't virtual reality, really. It was like you can virtual reality yourself into this video game, but in order to get the people in the video game, not you, but like the NPCs, they would take DNA and put it into their machine, and it would make essentially a you in that video game.
Weird. Sounds cool, though.
It made them all freak the fuck out. Every NPC went insane.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what would you do? You're stuck in a fucking video game and you know it.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess it depends on the game and how expansive it is.
It was not good because, like, the guy who made the video game was a horrible tyrant.
Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah.
The thing I cared about in the last 24 hours, and the easiest way to describe this is I cared about myself, which I'm sure is no surprise to people who know me at all, because I'm a pretty egotistical, pretty full of myself. I'm aware of such things. But
yeah, you're full of shit.
I'm full of shit. Yep, full of shit. Then all of that shit is me. So
Man, you're like Bono.
oh God, I don't want to be Bono. I really dislike Bono.
Everyone dislikes Bono.
Do you think Bono likes Bono?
Probably not. That's probably why Bono is so much like Bono. That's
unfortunate. So the problem that I have, aside from several other things that we have talked about in the past, is that I have a somewhat creative mind. I like to make things. I like to, create and do different things. That's why me and Nathan are sitting here right now. One of my biggest issues with that, though, is that I am a disgusting control freak. Right, Nathan?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm glad that you will not lie to my face. I appreciate that, sir. And mostly is because I have the concern over releasing control to someone else, because if they fuck up, if something goes wrong, it is easier for me to blame myself than it is than the anger that I would have towards blaming someone else. The other part of that is that I've put in a lot of time and things to learn how to do things, and it is very difficult to teach people certain things, and I've created an efficient way to do it. But there's so many other things that I want to do, and realistically, my brain goes, you could just do that, and then the realism part of my brain goes, no, you can't. Shut up, you stupid. Because one of the things that I've wanted to create, or just wanted to see created, but if I cannot find it, then the solution for me is to create it myself, is to create essentially a YouTube channel or some sort of thing along those lines, which is all focused on cover songs, right? And which, like, if you've ever seen like Coverville with Brian Ibbett, there's lots of places that focus on covers. Instead, though, what I want to see is a channel or a group of people that it is completely focused on creating true. I don't know what the proper term would be. It would be like a respectful covers of where it's still done in the light of the original of music, but sang by the opposite gender, essentially. And I realize that there's plenty of men that can sing very high and women can sing very low and stuff like that. But the easiest way to describe it is like take a song that was originally sang by a woman and instead have it sang by a man. And I love hearing those, but they're very difficult to find, because if there's a term for what that type of cover is, yeah, that doesn't work when you search that, by the way. Like, yeah,
I've found some on Reddit on a board. I'll send it to you once I figure it out,
if you can remember. And like I was driving home today, listening to a cover of "Look What You Made Me Do," a Taylor Swift's song. And it was sang by a man. I'm like, God, this is awesome. Although it completely changed genres. It went into like a hard rock, slight metal, like kind of screamo music. And it's a very good cover. And I can tell you who it's by in just a moment, so that I can actually give them credit for the work that they did. That is by Our Last Night. They make some really good shit. Anyway, and I was like, man, I would really like to see that. I even know how I would do it, and set up all these different things, and I can think of how to do this and that and that and this. I was like, Jennifer's really good at singing. I would totally be down for her singing all of the female covers of male songs. I was like, man, I don't know any dudes that can sing well. I should just take singing lessons. And my brain went, no, you shouldn't, you stupid. You don't have time, money, or, like, let's face it, you're not that great at singing. We saw your shit-ass rap 9 episodes ago. You do not want to put the time in for that. And I'm like, but how am I going to make it exist then, Nathan?
I don't know. If I stop thinking about it and actually fucking doing it.
But I need a dude that can sing. Can you sing, Nathan?
No.
Damn
I sing in the shower and really bad.
I need a dude that can sing.
Why don't you teach yourself how to sing?
That's what. Were you not just listening to what I was saying?
I mean, yeah, I was listening, but like, I still don't understand why you can't teach yourself how to sing.
Because I don't know.
Where the fuck? I need to switch to my other account.
I do not know, sir. It is a conundrum. Basically, because I can't do everything myself. And, like, that's a difficult thing for me to admit and realize, but really...
A different spin.
A different spin? Is that the subreddit?
Yeah, and it's not always, like, men doing women's songs and women doing men's songs. Sometimes it's a cover of a song in a different genre. Okay. Well, I will look into that. You said a different spin?
Yeah. Okay, I'm writing it down. Any case... also because I can't do everything myself. Like, we devote a lot of time to this show, and like we have other hobbies and family and stuff like that. And Chadwick says, "Don't look at me."
After the show yesterday, I posted a picture of me doing my D&D stuff.
Good work, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Confliction.
It was on our Twitter.
If I just didn't have to go to work, God. Hey, people, patreon.com/dailyinternet.
Yeah. Actually, I agree. I don't want to go to work either.
I got nothing.
Make me work in a different way, guys. Patreon.com.
Make Nathan work for himself, which would actually, with the way a majority of things go, would probably end up mean working for whatever. He's got ideas of his own.
I do. I have plenty. I just have to get out and do them.
Yeah, you gave up Sunday D&D to focus on your projects, and then a woman took over.
Actually, I gave it up for Game of Thrones with the woman, and then I was going to do my projects, and then I became more depressed than I was before.
Did you want to come back and play D&D, Nathan?
It's all right.
What are you doing instead?
On Sundays?
Being depressed?
trying to relax and actually do stuff around the house, like pick up.
There's food at our house.
I know.
Okay. All right, everybody. Seriously, though, we're going to get out of here. If you would consider supporting the show, if you get value out of the show, show us some value back. Patreon.com/dailyinternet. Please like, follow, and share this show on social media, which is YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All of those are at iReaditCast. If you have stories you would like us to talk about, submit them to our subreddit, which are iReaditCast, or leave us an email, which is feedback.ireadit@gmail.com. Got anything you just want to shout at us, please do so by leaving us a voicemail, 508-738-2278. And you can find me at Schwahn Michael on social media and Nathan at Bimmenstein. We are there and we are ready to interact in whatever way. I don't care. Yeah, stuff and things. I'm tired, Nathan. You ready to go?
Yeah, I want to go eat and go to sleep.
Cool.
My face hurts.
Everybody, that's your 409th dose of the internet. I am Michael Schwahn.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
And please remember, everybody,
don't get eliminated!
Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.